the badass granddaughter of Genghis Khan. In the sprawling steppes of 13th century Mongolia, where the winds whispered secrets of the earth, lived Khutulun, the legendary granddaughter of Genghis Khan. Born into the bloodline of conquerors, she carried the fire of the great Khan in her veins. But it was not her name alone that made kingdoms tremble. It was her spirit. Khutulun was no ordinary woman. With the build of a warrior and the heart of a lioness, she was a storm on horseback. Her father, Genghis Khan, who ruled the Chagatai Khanate, valued her not as a daughter bound for marriage, but as a soldier born for war. While others stitched silk and whispered gossip, Khutulun wrestled men twice her size and galloped across battlefields, leading troops with a sword as sharp as her mind. By the time she turned 18, her reputation had spread across Asia like wildfire. Men claimed she was too fierce, too untamed to be wed. Khutulun smiled at their doubts and declared a challenge. Any man who wished to marry her must first defeat her in a wrestling match. If he lost, he would pay her 100 horses as tribute. Warriors from far and wide came to test their strength. Princes, warlords, even seasoned champions who had wrestled the best of Mongolia, none could best her. For every loss, Khutulun collected horses, amassing thousands until her herd rivaled that of kings. Her father would often laugh and say, "Khutulun, you've earned enough to buy your own kingdom." But her story was not written in games alone. When war came to the Chagatai Khanate, Khutulun rode at her father's side. Her armor gleamed silver, her bow sang like thunder, and her enemies spoke of her as a spirit of vengeance. Legends say she would charge straight into enemy lines, snatch soldiers off their horses and throw them to the ground, as if the battlefield were her wrestling ring. She became the terror of the Silk Road. Yet envy brewed in the shadows. Her strength made men whisper that her loyalty to her father was unnatural. Rivals spun tales that she refused marriage because she was too proud, too manly, too much for the world to contain. One day Genghis Khan called her to his tent. "Let them talk," he said, his voice proud but weary. "You owe no man an explanation." "I know, father," Khutulun replied, her gaze steady. "I live for the freedom our ancestors fought for, not their approval." It is said that Khutulun's legend ended in mystery. Some stories claim she married a man who earned her respect, while others say she remained unwed, free as the winds of the steppe. What is certain is this: Khutulun, the warrior princess, lived and died on her own terms. History tried to tame her spirit into a footnote, but her story refused to be silenced. She was not just a descendant of Genghis Khan. She was the storm, the horsewoman, the badass granddaughter who shaped her destiny and left the world gasping in her wake.